Let's prepare for Yoga Ballet Balance Floor Sequence 2 with Amy Hutchison. Take a dora, a meter-long length of fabric, and fold it in half. Sitting up tall with your legs in front, roll your shoulders back, hold the dora in front, and gently glide down to your back, pointing your toes and reaching your arms overhead. Inhale here as you lengthen the body and lift the chest and lower back from the ground. And as you exhale, press the lower back into the floor. Take calm, deep breaths, inhaling through the nose and filling up the lungs, lifting the lower back. Then pressing your back into the floor as you breathe out. Take calm, controlled breaths. Inhale, reaching your arms overhead, lengthening out. Exhale, bringing your lower back to the ground and the arms sweep down to your hips. Keeping the dora taut in your hands, inhale, reaching up overhead, lifting the lower back. As you exhale, press the lower back into the floor and bring your arms down to the hips, keeping the dora taut in between your hands. Bend your knees with your feet together and let go of the dora, reaching your arms up to the thighs. Place the dora to the side and touch your fingers elegantly together. Inhale, raising your arms overhead. Exhale, bringing your hands up. Inhale, reaching them out to the sides and then sweep overhead. Make fluid, graceful movements with your arms. Fingers gently apart. Stretching out to the sides, not quite touching the ground. Next, as you exhale, raise your head and your upper back in a little crunch. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead, out to the sides. Taking your dora again, we'll fold it and place it on your hips. Then point your toes, lift the heels, and let your knees, with control, drop out to the sides. Place your heels down, then lift them up, pointing the toes, and drop the knees to the sides. Do a few movements like this, keeping the hips even with the floor. Next, when you bend the knees and lower them out to the sides, straighten one leg at a time, out to the side. Concentrating on keeping the dora flat against the hips and try not to lift the hips off the ground. Sweep each leg out to the side, toes pointed, and then back to center, alternating legs. Then bring the knees together, place the heels on the ground, and raise both knees and straighten the legs, toes pointed. Now with the heels touching each other, we'll rotate the front of the feet out and then touch them together. Flex the feet and move the front of the feet out to the sides, rotating the legs out. Again, keeping your hips even against the floor, keeping the dora across the top of the hips. Now we'll do a few movements, crossing the legs closely together, then separating the legs, reaching the dora overhead, and doing a crunch, bringing the dora just in between the thighs. Then bring the dora back to the hips, do some crosses, split the legs open, crunch up, and bring the dora overhead. When the dora is back on your hips, cross your legs, open them, reach overhead, and then crunch up, and repeat. Hands on your hips, cross the legs, feet flexed, open the legs, point the toes, reach overhead, and then crunch forward. Just pause for a moment before you reach back overhead again. Now we'll point the toes and lower the legs to the ground. Place the dora again against the hips, keeping the hips even. Then place one heel on top of the other. Slide the toe up the opposite leg to the knee. Let your knee reach out to the side, then straighten the leg out to side and sweep it back, without the leg touching the floor. Start with one side, start with the right side. As you reach the leg out to the side, straightening it, then sweep it back. And then reverse, sweep it out to the side, bend the knee, pointing the toe to the opposite knee, lift the knee straight up, and slide your leg back down. Sweep out to the side with straightened leg, bend the knee, toe to the opposite knee, raise the knee up, and then slide the leg down. Use control. Try to keep the hips even with the floor. And prepare the other side. Let's flex the feet. Just slide the heels along the floor, bending the knees. Heels touching, feet flexed. And straighten the legs, first position, and then point the toes. Bring the feet together, open them up again, and bend the knees. This time the feet are along the ground. And let's do the hip openers with the other leg. Raise the knee up, point it out to the side, straighten the leg, and then sweep it back to the other. Slide your toe up to the knee, point the knee out to the side, straighten the leg, and sweep it back. Then reverse the direction. With your legs straight, sweep your straightened leg out to the side, then bend the knee, pointing the toe to the opposite knee. Raise the knee up and slide your foot back down. Then slide your leg back down, placing the feet together. Take the folded dora and reach the arms overhead, stretching up. Then as you bring your dora forward, lift your head, the chest, the torso, then reach the arms up. On the exhale, fold forward. Try to bring the dora on the bottom of your foot and stretch for a moment in a forward fold. Take calm, deep breaths, letting the muscles stretch. Then reach the dora overhead, point the toes. Bring the dora down to the thighs. Place the dora to the side and prepare on your back, using the dora again. With the dora straight up folded, inhale. As you exhale, do a crunch, bringing your left wrist to the left knee, then the right wrist to the right knee, in a little rocking motion. Then inhale, sweeping back down. So the body's sort of twisting from side to side in a slow motion as you're doing the crunch. Here the knees are together. You can separate the knees if you like, or separate the feet a little bit more, depending on the challenge that you want. Then reverse the position, right hand, right knee, left hand, left knee, and then sweeping overhead. Exhale as you lift up, twist. Inhale as you reach overhead. Nice controlled movement. Try to keep your neck as relaxed as possible. Enjoy the pleasure of challenging yourself and the pleasure of the release. Please check out our other RussaYog YouTube videos on RussaYog.com user RussaYogi. Thank you.